Yeah. You've been active with running randomizer races this whole period, Conrad. Do you have any information for us who are unfamiliar with the changes since the last one?
Well, the entire bingo system got completely revamped so that it's more friendly towards the randomizer, whereas the old bingo system was used in vanilla races quite often. And there were a few things in the old bingo system that could actually you could actually get locked out of, such as a cutscene in City of Tears, most notably.
Yeah, I remember a few of those things.
And there were a lot
Uh,
of goals that were also not too clear. So the new bingo system has everything like specified, where it's like check means you go and pick up whatever is at a specific location, and obtain means that you have to find that item itself somewhere.
I see. So, for instance, obtain Hera would mean actually finding the Hera pickup and picking it up.
Yeah. Yeah, wherever Hera is, it's going to be in a random location, and obtain just means find that wherever it is.
I see.
But yeah, as of obtain goals, actually, this board has a lot of them.
Yeah. If we look at these, we have obtain 2 life pledge charms, obtain long nail or mark of pride. Ooh, or interesting, shape of un or balder shell,
Yeah,
Hera.
about that, the obtain long nail or mark of pride, the charms used to be in either groups of you have to get all of these together or you have to get this specific charm, and that turned out to be like very long because you could like the charm could just be like in a very annoying place and it could make races last way longer than they had to. So every charm was put into pairs so that you have more options instead of just having to do this one specific place for it.
Yeah. Speaking of obtaining charms, it seems like one of our runners have already marked a goal here. Obtain shape of un or balder shell.
Bapanada.
Yeah, that was at Isilda.
Yeah.
And the person that marked that appears to be Quacksilver, which is red.
Yeah.
So the colors for this race are Quacksilver is red and Pyros is purple. You have King's Branded Grubs, Mask Shot, Friends Today,
Rancid eggs.
a Bistreak for
And a
friends.
bit
Not
shriek.
bad.
Wow. That could be a very powerful. It was at 5 grubs too, so that could be a very strong spell early on if they can just get a few grubs going.
Yeah, actually surprising that Pyros didn't notice Shape of Honor Boulder Shell. I'm pretty sure he got there first.
He may have noticed, but just opted not to get them yet, which I'm not really sure why you would opt to not get them yet, but maybe he wanted to conserve money for something.
Well, I kind of like I would argue that since this is a board of a lot of randomized items, shops are very strong early on, since shops can have like anything in them really.
Yeah.
And
Pyro is
in
missing the
that,
double spike kill there.
yeah, I really hate to see that. 200 geo for 4 grubs, that's like pretty accessible. Also Queen's Gardens for 2. This could be some sort of progression, but this looks like a very geo heavy sea right now. But yeah,
Right.
what we saw like in the beginning is well, a random item in a shop. There's a very high possibility of one of those being in other shops too, since there's so many options.
Of the or
Oh,
goals, you mean?
yeah, just
Oh,
a random
and
goal being in a
ooh,
shop.
Pyro is
Pyro's
getting unlucky
going
there.
for an out of logic pogo. This pogo is not an easy logic, but you can actually get the mask shard in that room just by doing a bench fly pogo instead of using vertical.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Pogo just ran into the Gome and he wasted a lot of time there.
Yeah, that bench fly doesn't go up very too often actually.
And he's taking a lot of damage on the path up to False Knight as well.
He'll be fine. He can bench. I
Yeah,
believe
there is
in
only
him.
to the bench in, by the stag here, which gives you a
This
full
is a
heal.
very good bench. Oh, and we have a simple key very early on. I respect that he didn't buy it, because it's right next to a bench and he doesn't need to use it yet. But there is use to simple keys on the board, so it's good to
Yeah.
keep that one in mind.
And they do run with bench warp, so he can get back here whenever he wants. which was something not ran in the last tournament, was bench warp. So that's a new feature for this one.
Did bench warp even exist last tournament?
I don't think
so.
it did. No, I think bench warp was developed in between the two tournaments. So it's new territory for tournaments that have bench warp.
Oh, and Quacksilver is choosing to buy the simple key, which will put him at a very low amount of geo for a board that needs that much geo.
Yeah, early game geo is very scarce in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Once you get a few relics and get access to Lem, money gets a lot easier, and Lem is sort of a goal on this board, actually, interesting enough. We have him right in the middle, talk to him with Defender's Crucifix, which means we actually
that goal actually is one of the few find one charm goals that are left. It's disguised as like talk to someone with the charm, but it is find one charm pretty much.
Yeah, and that find a charm and go to the specific location, basically.
Oh, and according to chat, Defender's Quest was at Isilda, so that's a very quick goal. And Quacksilver has a very long False Night load.
Lucky he didn't infinite load.
Yeah. Hopefully the boss isn't invisible.
Yeah, Pyrus is doing short work of False Night here, so...
Yeah, so far we just have them following each other. If there's anything here, Pyros will get it first. But it's good that they're so close, because if there's a movement here, at least... Oh, and it's Desolate Dive.
That is interesting. I believe
that's a very good starting item.
Yeah, that gives a lot of new access. They can now break through into Crystal Peaks, for instance. Although there isn't much to do there, they can still use that road to go into Resting Grounds if they wish to go to the Dark Room.
Could, but there is a very infamous Dark Room in the way of that.
Right, and that isn't in Logic, but as we've seen, Pyrus is willing to try and challenge Logic here, so he might go for something funky.
Yeah, he can also get one check on the way there. There's one Rance deck that you can find on the way there. Oh, Storm Stack. That's huge for Pyros. If he remembers that Defender's Quest is in a shop, he could easily snipe that goal.
Yeah, getting onto the board
it looks like he might
like that would be very useful.
Royal Waterways already.
And he bought the simple key. I'd imagine he needs that to open the Stag Station.
Oh, that's a Lifeblood charm.
And Jonas Blessing is also generally just a neat charm. It has a lot of interesting interactions.
Yeah, it really does.
But I'd imagine they might not want to risk using Jonas this early on, especially because they would over-charm to have it. And you really do not want to take double damage when you also can't heal.
But yeah, this path, while existing, I want to like bring some attention. Also, Pyros finds Hera here, which is actually a goal on the board. But there is another path that the runners probably don't really remember now. The Queen's Guardian stack, 2 grubs, could still be something.
Yeah, and Quicksilver going through the mound here. We didn't see Pyros go through the mound, so...
Yeah, this is a fairly long check to do, but it's actually faster if you find Mantis Claw. But he does have a Boulder Killer, which is Desolate Dive, so this is in Logic, so it may as well be something. We'll see if he's lucky.
Meanwhile, Pyros is going back up into...
Descending Dark?
Oh wow, both of those dive spells immediately being found. That gives a lot of damage to these runners. They should not have any issue fighting bosses at this point.
Yeah, so for example, with that upgrade, Flukmarm is very much reachable now. As for paths that Quacksilver could take here that Pyros didn't, he has access to Green Path via Boulder Killing, like he just did, or going towards peaks, potentially into Resting Grounds if he's feeling adventurous.
Yeah, and from Resting Grounds, you could even get into the catacombs underneath, and from there enter right side of City of Tears.
But I think the play I'm seeing here might be more interesting. I did mention shops being potentially important on this, and we might be seeing Quack actually go to shops here. In fact, I think Pyros is too. And Pyros has the advantage of having Infection, so he's going to be able to check both Salubra and Sly, whereas Quack can only check one unless they do a Shade Skip for the other one.
Yeah, and they're both going out of their way to save this one grub as well, so I'd imagine they have been eyeing the grub rewards, wanting one of those.
Yeah,
If I
holding
recall-
rates low grub amount is very nice. The King's Brand is also not a very high amount, so it's good to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I do recall seeing a Paylor there as well for, I believe, 6 grubs, and getting a nail upgrade could be handy if they don't feel entirely comfortable with the damage output.
And also the Queen's Garden stag, which was at 2 grubs, has been in Logic since the very beginning too, so that could be potentially something. They have a lot of options right now.
Yeah, they could both actually get that stag right now. Both of them have done quick work of Grubsmother.
Quack has insanely long loads. Oh, a Dream Nail at Sly.
Paid 1 Geo for 80 Geo. What a steal.
What would Dream Nail even get? Dream Nail is actually it's sort of relevant on this board, but it doesn't get anything like immediately. Since we haven't seen Essence yet, we don't know if there's something there, but you do need 3 Dream Nails to do Kill a King's Mold or Complete Path of Pain. Both of those require White Palace access, which requires having Awoken Dream Nail. And in Randomizer, that is 3 Dream Nails.
Yeah, Pyra's easily getting the skip to Salubra using that infected Vengefly.
Oh, that's really good for him. Resting Ground Stag being there.
Yeah, that puts Resting Grounds in Logic. And again, with the dive, he now has access to right side Sea of Tears and even down to Flukemarm if you want. I believe you mentioned Flukemarm earlier. I don't see Flukemarm on the board immediately.
No, Flukemarm has been in Logic since Pyro's found Storm Stag though, since he can just drop down from there.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, I think Quack might have the old. That's not good. I could swear when I look at the versions, the Normalizer was the same one as Pyro's.
Oh, and is Pyros gonna try to pogo up to Blue Lake here? He's bringing over the Vengefly again. I'm not
looks
sure
like
that
QG Stag is just a Charm Notch, which is sort of good to remember since Sap 6 Charm Notches is on the board.
Ooh. Pyro's getting that pogo up to Blue Lake. Interesting. I don't know if that's strictly in Logic for easy difficulty.
Yeah, well, this is good for Pyros. I kind of want to say I don't agree with it, because going for Blue Lake like this is very slow, and it's probably even slower than just farming the Geo for Resting Ground Stag.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He could just buy.
Actually, it's definitely slower, unless he just plans to go straight into the city and skip crypts, which I wouldn't recommend. Getting the stag means that Pyros could just skip the Dreamnail cutscene too, if he wanted to. This way he has to do it. He also has to do this annoying pogo.
Yeah, then again, there might be a good item at Dreamnail, so who knows?
Yeah, but you need to do a pogo on a flying enemy in this room to get past this one jump.
Oh, really? I thought you could just get these with precise jumps.
I don't think Pyros is informed, and it looks like he just gives up.
Meanwhile,
we have Quacksilver, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Quacksilver has now gone into Sea of Tears himself. He had a brief stint in Queen's Gardens, but I don't think he found anything particularly interesting there. And he has picked up Hera as well now. So both of the runners now have Infected Crossroads.
Infected Crossroads is like very useful. You can do an out of logic pogo to get to Legular, which once again, shops are strong on this board. I would like to see that, but I can understand if the runners aren't comfortable with it. You can do the out of logic pogo to get to Blue Lake, which in this case isn't actually useful, but it does get you to Salubra the first time around, and that has the ground stag. Well, you don't buy Dreamnail here. Go get ground stag.
And neither of them bought World Sense either.
Don't get baited into this. Get the stag.
Pirates is really debating the merits of buying this Dreamnail.
Yeah. They're thinking very hard about this. And
I
they don't.
decided not to.
Okay, good choice.
Yeah, that's the correct choice, I think. So good on him for recognizing that Dreamnail isn't actually useful for him right now.
Yeah,
It's such a
not
tempting
immediately
Pyro.
useful. It's good to keep in mind. Oh, we might get a boulder check from here, from Pyros.
Yeah, I can't imagine any other reason why he would go in here.
Could also be going into green path from this bench.
That
But
means that Paris is soon to find the Void Dive here.
avoid that.
Yeah, I forget the name.
Descending Dark. It's a good name. I respect it.
I mean, they are Void spells, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Quacksilver making his way down through Seed of Tears. I don't believe Pyros went down into Seed of Tears, so we might get to see some new checks here.
I don't know exactly how many relics Quack has, but this could be a Lem. Well, you're also doing checks if you're going down here, but I'm assuming they might want to get the bench here, sell to Lem, do some checks, and maybe like go back and empty some shops.
Yeah, I don't think Sanctum is accessible to them yet because I don't think they've found either Wings or Claw.
Yeah, Sanctum requires vertical movement. The
Yeah.
very first jump, even.
Yeah, so they can't access that yet, which is a shame. There's a lot of checks in there, actually.
We get Moloch from Pyros. This is not in logic, I think. Even
I
with
think
D-Dark, I believe that for Moloch to be in logic, you need either Raids or Fireball. Which actually Raids are at a reachable amount of grub, so technically this is in logic.
Yeah, this is an interesting play, actually, in my opinion. Going to fight the boss right now with the strongest, but like I mentioned, having Dark Dive gives them a lot of damage output for these early bosses, so this should actually be pretty quick.
Yeah, this is an interesting play. I'm curious to see if it pays off. Moloch considered a niche play that most people skip like for an entire race, so
Yeah, I can understand that. It is sort of a long trip for a single check, but can
yeah,
be.
unless it's a goal on the board, a lot of people don't even come back for it.
But it can pay off if you get lucky. So we'll see if Paris gets lucky here or not.
This boss actually used to be an easy logic with nothing, but because of an unbreakable charm. I don't think
don't believe those are on the
on
board.
the board. It's 2 lifeless charms, unfortunate. Although this could be useful for the geo gathering that Pyros will eventually have to do.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Quacksilver got the cutscene with Hornet at the statue.
Oh yeah, they're selling to Lem here.
Using the nifty sell all feature to.
No, that's a lot of geo.
Yeah, 1,000 geo is like you mentioned. If this city is really shop heavy, that is quite powerful for him.
It looks like we might be getting a resting grounds check from Pyros here. Which again, very strong area right now.
Yeah, meanwhile Quacksilver, I'd imagine is making his way down to Flukemarm.
Give me the content!
What? No, Quacksilver is going
No,
to...
this is the optimal way if you want to full clear waterways with no movement. It takes a while, but usually you want to start on the left side since there are platforms placed in that room to help you backtrack. If you drop down to the bench right away, you can't get back up without anything. And Quacksilver finds holding rates.
Yeah, it paid off,
So
apparently.
we have easy access to Abyss Shriek very early on. This is a lot of damage, and I would like to see that used on Flukemarm now, actually.
Yeah, and he's gonna go over to the Mask Shard here. And we get to see what is at Seer here on Pyro's end.
Long nail? I don't think you want to do that much for long nail, but it's good to keep in mind.
Mask Shard, Wondrous Journal.
Oh,
Rampass.
a very low essence Rampass and Vengeful Spirit. Nice.
Yeah. So we have found basically all spells already.
Trampass actually kind of relevant on this board, by the way, since in order to get 8 map pins from Iselda, you actually need the Trampass. Oh, by the way, Quacksilver found Queen's Station tag, I believe, so that's very quick access to that side for Quacksilver now.
Yeah, so I believe Quacksilver may even have access to Leggage at this point. Although he would need to
Not
airstall with the
quite
health
yet.
rig.
Yeah, that's not an easy logic, but it is possible. You can't get that one. Not right now, Quacksilver.
Trying to lure a Horb down to Poland.
I'm sure. Oh, I think
Oh,
they've.
he just wanted
No,
soul.
there's platforms. Oh, they want the soul. Never mind. I thought they
Meanwhile,
were
Paris
fake
is
hitting you.
Paris making his way over to Dreamnail pickup here. Bit of a strange order, seeing the items being checked at Seer and then going through this Dreamnail sequence.
Getting some cat counts.
Yeah, that would be my cat. Apologies. She woke up recently, apparently. Just finding a vessel fragment at the Dreamnail. It's not
We've
too
seen
huge for
two
them to.
unbreakable charms this early on. It's really sad that there's not any on the board.
Yeah, Quacksilver getting Unbreakable Heart, which is actually a kind of nice charm in my opinion. Getting 2 extra masks is quite useful.
Oh, we have dash! Oh,
Oh,
my
that
god,
is
that's
huge.
massive. This will
Wow.
allow Quacksilver to check leg eater now, and it's also insanely good movement. Or
And
wings or
Monarch wings.
pyros? Alright.
So pretty much everything is being found here.
This is getting interesting now. So Quacksilver having horizontal movement will be faster to reach a lot of places, but Pyros having wings has the advantage of doing a lot more checks and having a lot of goals that he can
Ooh.
reach now.
And he just found Mark of Pride, which is a goal on the board.
That's very nice because the long nail was at 700 essence.
And he finds
Great
great
slash.
as well. We're just finding every single skill here.
Useful for liver skips, which are a thing that used to be possible in an older patch and got added to this patch by Randomizer. Notably a lot of them in Soul Sanctum. But, so, Pyros with wings now could easily get...
And dash slash being found by Quacksilver. Yeah, pretty much every single ability in the game has been found at this point.
Yeah. But we're still missing Mantis Claw and Isma's Tear, which is actually on the board.
It's actually kind of funny how Pyros who found Wings found Great Slash, and Quacksilver who found Mothwing Cloak found Dash Slash. So they both found like the ability that was useful to them.
Yeah. But about Pyros, having wings could easily visit Overground Mound or Crystallized Mound. Well, I would assume they would go to Overground Mound. Which is a goal on the board. Oh, and it looks like Quacksilver is heading to Lem here. Oh, and
Meanwhile,
Pyros.
Pyros just finding Isma's Tear. So now we have even less abilities to spread across the remaining ones. Pyros having a little victory dance.
Yeah, that's massive for them. It's actually very, very good Crypts. Crypts is... It tends to be loaded with good items. It's not a thing, like, it's not a guaranteed thing, but it's just something that tends to happen.
Shurima Ogre is yielding nothing but a Mask Shard. Unfortunate. The Notch would have actually been quite useful at this point.
Yeah, but Quacksilver is heading up to Lim here with a lot of Geo, so maybe they can get lucky.
Yeah, 1,000 Geo against Soul to Lim earlier is gonna be potentially really huge here.
Let's see if they're lucky. This could
Pyro's
be
making its way
anything.
over to the vessel room here.
Lurian, Fury.
And a
Oh,
bunch of vessel
that's a shame.
fragments.
That really is unfortunate.
Yeah, nothing really too useful at Leggage, unfortunately. So all that 1,000 Geo not really being put to good use here yet.
Quacksilver has no indication that Pyros has vertical yet, since Pyros hasn't marked anything except obtain Isma's Tear after getting wings. So I'm curious to see where Quacksilver will decide to go here. I don't know if they've seen Salubra, since when they got Sly, they actually didn't have a way to access Salubra. So they haven't gone to Resting Grounds to get that stag.
Pyros checked Salubra, but Quacksilver hasn't yet.
Yeah. But it looks like Quacksilver might be heading there. This is massive for them. If they continue following Resting Ground Stag from Salubra, they'll get wings very soon. And if
Yeah.
they do, this could turn out very interesting. Pyros hasn't really used the wings yet to gain anything.
Yeah, and getting both dash and wings would be really huge. It would open
I
up
want
almost
to
the whole game.
say it might actually put Quacksilver ahead.
Yeah,
Dash
like
is
Pyrus would
fast.
have the more goals, sure, but he would not yet have the mobility to really continue to effectively check everything.
And it looks like Quacksilver is checking that stag immediately, so I hope they check crypts. If they check crypts, they'll catch up to Pyros basically entirely. And even have the advantage of dash too. Pyros didn't even check waterways, nor went to left side at all, so I don't know when they're getting dash. Like,
Yeah, it
unless they
might be
find
a long
another
time.
one.
Yeah, there is a second copy somewhere in the world, but I wouldn't count on just randomly finding it being like something to help him secure the victory here. Pyrus just quickly checking the seal above the station here. It's a bunch of money.
Soul Master Chest. You'll love to see. What is Pyros doing? Oh. There was a Geo stuck in the spikes.
I've never seen Geo exhibit that behavior before. Is that a randomizer thing?
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, that looked weird to me.
Alright, and we're getting a essence check from Quacksilver here. I could see someone maybe killing Zero just to get the tram pass.
Pyrus not being allowed to open the pleasure house, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a Lem check. It looks like it might be Lem. Selling to Lem.
I was vaguely hoping it would be a watch a night check, but there's not actually anything useful up there.
You can't reach the Watcher Knights checks without Mantis Claw, actually.
Yeah, but you can reach the watch a nights themselves.
Yeah. But not much of a point killing them if you can't get their stuff. Unless they're on the board, obviously.
It would have been funny, but Pyrus
Oh, and
entering the
Quacksilver!
waterways.
Quacksilver finds wings. There we go.
Or Pyrus at least opening the waterways. Oh, using this great slash to what's it called, lever skip into Lem's little hut here, and getting
Also, speaking of
2,200 geo.
Quacksilver found wings, but didn't continue to the right side of crits. I assume he just doesn't remember that right side is reachable now.
Pyrus immediately going off and buying Dreamnail again.
Quacksilver is actually skipping the great slash pickup here because of that.
Yeah,
So if
lucky for
something's at
him.
Nail Master's glory, I don't know if they're ever going back for that. Pyros, on the other hand, is getting a lot of Geo. Oh. Wait, does Pyros have Defender squares? I know that was supposedly at the solo. Oh yeah, he does. And he's going to do that goal.
He just bought the finish quest from Iselda a bit quickly, I see.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one's gotten at least like the tram pass from Loison's.
And Pyrus is looking in a pretty strong position right now with 4 goals out of 13 required. But again, he doesn't have any sort of horizontal movement speed yet, so
Yeah, I would have really liked to see at least Quacksilver with dash and wings make use of them to get something.
yeah, right now Quacksilver is mostly just following in Pyrus' footsteps.
Yeah. As far as goals are concerned, Quacksilver can get an extra goal compared to Pyros, which is a swat away Tiso shield from his corpse, which actually requires dash for Tiso to appear in Dirtmouth and start the quest line. Yeah, Pyros has Defender's Crest on. It's just visual effects being visual effects.
Oh, did they disappear? I didn't even notice.
They tend to do that. But yeah, Pyros gets that goal.
And he heads to the left here. I'd imagine he wants to check the rafters. There is a
Yeah.
pickup up there, after all.
Have we seen rafters from Quacksilver?
We have not, I don't think. Pyro's just using a cheeky little bench light pogo to get up here faster.
Yeah, the bench weapon was very nice. And that's a lot of Geo. A lot of it just fell off.
Yeah, is that the Watch Knight's chest? It looks like
Yeah,
might be
it is.
It's a lot of money. So Pyros is loaded currently.
Oh, Quacksilver is warping out? Are we seeing overground mount here? That would be nice. You can reach that with pogos from by baiting a flying enemy. It's surprisingly easy.
I don't know if that is in logic for EC, but it is possible.
Oh, we're getting willows. This is actually a fast check. I like this. Pyros is getting nailed.
This check existed.
Those are some early nail upgrades.
Wait, did Quacksilver just find Isthmus tier?
Oh, the duplicate is mustier.
Oh,
That's
there exists
very
two
early.
copies in current randomizer?
Yeah, we're playing with a setting called duplicate major items, which adds an extra copy of a lot of movement items or something like Dreamers or the Void Heart Charm. Also the spells.
Shows how much I keep track of randomizer development here. So Quacksilver heading up into Fog Canyon. I'd imagine Overgrown Mound is what he's going to check next. It is on the way.
Yeah, Overgrown Mound would be nice here.
Get a few more goals on the board for Quacksilver. He only has one currently.
I believe in Quacksilver. Pyros is saving a few grubs, and it looks like this might be Color Hot Springs. No, he's going back.
Warping out? Did he just want the grubs?
Where is
Pyros a really good boy?
going?
Saving grubs? Being a good guy?
Is
I
this
don't like it.
Peaks, maybe? This could be diving into Crystal Peaks. For the checks there? Maybe Pyros is thinking that he missed something early on.
He might be. He might actually be going for one of the grub pickups, or he's just going to Crystal Peaks.
Oh, never mind. He's going there. This grub is like very far.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's just going for one of the grub items then. I can't remember what they all were off the top of my head. But
Anything
clearly
you could
there's
get
something values there.
to, you could get to Crystallized Mound with some nice air stalls after passing the Dark Room. But yeah, Peaks does have like 2 egg checks, which I think Pyros is actually gonna be doing. Since Pyros has wings, he can actually check the dive egg here too, which normally he couldn't check without movement. Although, a fireball is enough for that.
Quacksilver just making his way into the Overgrown Mound.
I'm surprised no one's checked Green Path. Green Path is... Well, it used to be a weak area. With some of the recent goal additions, it's been a bit stronger. Nice dive. Yeah, the stream died a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm having issues finding it. Alright, stream seems to be back on my end.
Yeah, it's back for me too. I'll just do another refresh real quick.
Unfortunately, nothing of real value was gained in Overgrown Mound except for goal.
The goal was nice, although in the meanwhile, Pyros just finds Sharp Shadow in Crystal Peaks. So that's more random goals.
Oh, really?
Getting very lucky here.
I seem to be a bit behind. Hold up. Let me just refresh this again.
Yeah. And Pyros is okay. I don't know what I think of this. Maybe getting the bench for later, but choosing to check Crystal Peaks now is strange to me.
Getting a
Actually,
different
getting
version
this
of
bench right
Lockout.
now is like completely useless. I assumed that Pyros might want the bench to do Dartmouth Crystal Peaks elevator later on, but since Pyros already has Monarch Wings, all like for that elevator you either need Monarch Wings or and Crystal Heart from the left side, or Crystal Heart and Mantis Claw from the right side. Since Pyros already has Monarch Wings, he can easily get that elevator goal from the left side once he finds Crystal Heart. He doesn't need to get this bench for that, since it's much faster from the left side. So I don't know what this bench is for. It's definitely worse than just doing goals right now.
Yeah, I guess he just wants a quick way to get back here, maybe?
In
It's the
fact,
only thing he might-
Pyros, I want to say Pyros won't be able to get this bench. He can with his current loadout, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, it's a pretty tricky little corridor to jump up across.
Yeah, initially you have to do those pogos that you're seeing Pyros do, but there's one part where you need to stall in the air with something, and Pyros has Great Slash, so that's actually possible with a single Great Slash cast. But it's still not easy. You can
Meanwhile,
also do it with any spell that isn't dive.
Quacksilver finding another relic over by the Thorn's Charm.
I'm surprised we're not seeing Kingdom's Edge from anyone, especially Quacksilver. Like, Quacksilver could get so much out of that.
Yeah, Quacksilver having dash means he can navigate those long horizontal rooms much faster than just walking, obviously. So Green Path and Kingdom's Edge both have really long horizontal rooms.
Oh, I think we're getting Leggy there from Pyros finally.
Using those wings to get into Crossroads. Pyrus still hasn't found a copy of Dash yet.
Oh, Quacksilver is doing the Teasel questline. There we go. This might be two easy goals for Quacksilver unless Pyros decides to somehow very quickly make his way over there.
Yeah, I guess that gives him a good reason to finally enter Kingdom's Edge, like you said.
Yeah, if he goes to Kingdom's Edge now, he can get Splash the NPCs in the Color Hot Spring goal, along with Tiso's shield, and a few checks on the way, if he wants to.
Yeah, I think going to Kingdom's Edge here would be a good idea.
It's very, very strong for Quacksilver. It would be good for Pyros too, but not as strong since Pyros doesn't have Dash. Although if Pyros keeps going here, I think he will find Dash. Wasn't Dash like here or something? It was like
Dash.
yeah.
Dash was in
Queen
the
Station.
sewers.
Oh, was it in the sewers? I thought Queen Station was there.
Oh no, you're right. Queen Station was in sewers, and Dash was by Queen Station.
Yeah, Pyros might actually get that, but it will be too late, I think, here. I don't know if Quacksilver is gonna keep doing a lot of checks, but the likelihood of Pyros getting this before Quacksilver is very low now. Yeah, it looks like Quacksilver is getting the Blue Lake Egg check here. Progressioning. We've seen so many vessel fragments this sea.
Yeah, I wonder, have we seen pretty much every vessel fragment that's possible to find?
I don't know if we've seen every, but I think we're close to that.
Pretty sure we've seen more than two extra vessels worth of fragment at this point. Please.
Yeah, Pyros is very close to finding Dash here, and this is a sad moment. He finds Dash Slash in the meanwhile.
Yeah, something he can't yet use. Give him about, I don't know, 5 minutes. More like 1 minute, honestly.
But yeah, what's like actually sad for Pyros is once he finds Dash here, he might be like, oh, I can do Tiso's questline now, and get the other Kingdom's Edge goal, and surprise, surprise, Quacksilver is doing that right now. So if he falls for this bait, he might actually get locked out very bad here.
Yeah, and lose a lot of time. This is not the kind of result you want when you're doing a race here. Doing the same Willow check though, finding Isma's tier as well.
Yeah, the duplicate. Yeah, Pyros is just doing a few checks here, which we've seen Quacksilver already do. And Quacksilver probably getting a few checks on the way up to Colosseum, I imagine. Those suck to go back for. Oh! Just wanted to hit that aspect. Getting some soul for this Bellfly.
Finding
Nice.
Gathering Swarm, the most useful
good.
charm ever.
Very good for Randomizer, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I actually do
Has,
like.
nothing yet. I don't-
I actually really like Gathering Swarm because it saves so much time. But if you have access to Lemon, you can sell relics. It's not really super relevant, unfortunately.
What is Pyro's looking for here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess they're just walking through.
Pyros
they might be
has to
wanting to check
know
Green
that
Path.
Quacksilver checked the overground mound and has been around this area. I don't think Pyros is assuming that Quacksilver decided to go through the dark room and do some air stalls or just well, dash wings is enough actually. To check the crystallized mound instead.
Yeah, I imagine
way.
Parrish wants to check Green Path.
Oh
before
wow.
being staggered by Moss Charger there.
There's another copy of Raids at Colosseum 1. Good thing we found the other two. Yeah, Quacksilver gets a Tiso questline here, and we'll now splash the NPCs for a quick goal.
And so Quacksilver now has 3 goals compared to Pyro's 5 goals?
Yeah, once Quacksilver gets Tiso's shield here, Pyros will know that he's been missing Dash for a while. What? Oh, I'm stupid. Because hauling rates wasn't Colo 1, I was actually thinking that Quacksilver is doing it unironically, but no, you do need to enter Colosseum 1. Or, well, any Colosseum, I think. I don't think it only has to be one. You have to enter a trial and then, well, either finish it or just warp out for Tiso to despawn from the bench.
Ah, I see. And Quacksilver seems to be aware of this, immediately warping out as soon as the trial has started.
You can actually warp out as soon as you enter the room, I think. At least as soon as you enter the room. I don't know if you just start the trial and warp out. I know you can do it, like, right after you take the load, though.
I don't believe we saw Quacksilver check the rest of Green Path, did we?
I don't think so either, but I prefer this to that anyway.
We saw Quacksilver check Thorns, but more than that, I can't remember.
Speaking of Thorns, while it's a good charm for casual play, it's actually so slow when you're using it. It feels like it just adds so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So long. Ooh, Distant Village Stag.
That's another goal for Quacksilver. This Kingdom's Edge was busted.
Yeah. Paying off really well right now.
Yeah, this is another quick goal for Quacksilver here.
Yeah, Quacksilver very quickly closing this lead that Pyros had. Pyros might be feeling
Quacksilver doesn't know the drop, unfortunate.
Pyros going through this dark room here. I don't think
this is
this is
the easiest dark room in the game, so I can imagine Pyros might know how to do it.
It's pretty safe, and the shield has been swatted.
Yep. And I believe once Quacksilver takes the stack to Distant Village, they'll actually be tied.
Seems like Quacksilver is gonna take a quick trip through Kingdom's Edge first, though.
Getting the Hornet 2 bench is not that bad. It's a bench and a check right next to it. But yeah, let's talk a bit about the board. Crystal Heart gets you 1 goal very fast. We haven't seen... Oh, we have seen Kingsburn actually. We haven't seen Fragments. So wait, no, it's not Wait, it's Void Tendrils Journal entry. We haven't seen another dash, so that's not gonna be seen for a while.
Yeah, and
We haven't seen Claw at all.
we've seen one Lifeblood charm, but not two.
Oh, another simple key. That's a goal. Another goal for Quacksilver. Quacksilver is going strong right now.
Yeah, wow, they're racking up these goals very quickly. Just have to find somewhere to actually. Oh, I see. They're going for the pleasure house to use the key.
This is a very good comeback from Quacksilver.
Yeah, it looked really grim for a few moments, but now
Still
Paris is
has
the one on
a
the back foot.
distant village stack too, which I assume they're hopefully gonna remember.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
can be
Claw
easy to
on
get
this
goals.
board. Claw on this board would be 2 Dreamers checks. That requires Claw and Dreamnail. Nothing you can do about it, sadly.
Yeah, and the Dreamland has already been bought by both characters, by both runners. I don't know where characters came from.
Playing too many RPGs. Oh, there's a white fragment.
Ooh.
But
That is
more
quite nice.
useful in Blackout, but there is a goal that requires 2, so... Not on this board, though.
Well, there is the Kill a King's Mold goal, which requires access to.
Yeah, it just requires 3 Dreamnails. Also, finding a Dreamer copy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Was that just a generic Dreamer?
It's a special item that was added recently-ish. It's illustrated as 1 more Dreamer, pretty much. It's
Oh,
like the
so
other dupes, except it's just treated as 1 Dream.
I see.
As a reminder, since we don't have colors on screen yet, red is Quacksilver and purple is Pyros.
Quacksilver taking that trip to Deep Nest, getting a goal.
Vanilla green pasta. It's the
They
season
had the option.
randomized.
I like how Quacksilver had the option to pay 250 geo for 150 geo. They didn't quite go for it though.
But yeah, I guess the earliest goal we could see now would be like something like half 6 charm notches, or maybe even rescue Zote in deepness. It's in light deepness, so it's a thing they can do.
I believe rescuing Zote in Deep Nest is actually possible for them at this point.
Yeah, it's actually in logic.
Yeah, so Quacksilver could go over there and get that goal a bit quickly. Extend their
So we're
lead.
choosing to check this one thing in Beaston, which could be something, but it's just one check that takes a while.
Yeah, I was about to say this is a really long check because it locks you in here, but they have bench warp, so I guess it's not.
Yeah, the hard save here was actually removed in order to add a shade skip to hard logic for getting the other check in here.
Ah, I see. Meanwhile, Paris is making their way over to Un.
Yep. Unfortunately, Pyros has Isma Steer, which is not required for this, but it does make it easier.
Would have been snazzy to see this be navigated without touching the acid, though.
Oh, and he does get an Aluba kill, which actually is a goal on the board. Keeping that in mind. The second Aluba is very far away, though.
Yeah, that's the one in Queen's Gardens, is it not?
Yeah, and for that Aluba, you can actually kill it without killing Trader Lord if you have Shade Soul. If you go up to the grub in that same room, you can snipe the Aluba through the wall, skipping the entire fight and like the need of Shade Cloak.
Is it possible to snipe the Aluba using Dash Slash as well?
I haven't tried. I think it might be just out of range.
Yeah, which is a curious thought since they do have access to Dash Slash. So I was wondering if it's
Giving
possible to
out
get
the
that.
free slashes.
Pyros getting all the hard falls here. Quacksilver making their way over to Elder Who.
Yeah, Quacksilver bought Lurian from Leggy there, so maybe he's thinking of doing Black Egg here, like as a check. Which, like, we don't know what it could be.
Meanwhile, Pyros is making their way down into the basin, which should have quite a few checks actually.
Yeah, Basin has a few checks. It's could be progress towards getting a Cloth questline ending, since You have to do the interaction down here by the pillar in order to get any cloth ending.
However,
It's
doing the
also
interaction down here would. Oh, well, I guess both actually require to kill Trait Lord. Never mind.
elegant key at the fountain.
I could barely read that. The ancient basin pop-up was covering too much.
If you see on NT and key, you know it's elegant key. You get used to it.
I'd imagine it comes with experience.
But yeah, I'm surprised no one's gotten. Well, Quacksilver is choosing one of the more annoying bosses to get essence from when Zero exists, but
Yeah, I'm still also struggling a bit with this. Oh, never mind.
it takes a
Elder
while. It's a 100 essence though, which gives Quacksilver access to Tram Pass, which once again it's 8 map pins if Quacksilver gets the money, and it's also check the Hive Mask Shard. Getting to Hive requires Tram Pass, so setting up for 2 goals there. Potentially setting up for 200 essence to check the Spirit's Glade. I think we're seeing Black Egg check now.
Yeah, Paris is making their way down to the key here. I'd imagine they might want to check Broken Vessel afterwards too, although that would require a Pogo to get back up, I think.
It's not in logic. Pyros is just taking a gamble here.
Understandable. I mean, Pyrus is on the back foot here and needs to recover back.
Yeah, but if you're Pyros, you have Isma, Steer, Dash, and Wings. You could at least go to Deep Nest.
And Pyrus now also has Sprint Master. So
Meanwhile,
Pyrus can now go really fast.
This streak. Lots of firepower there.
Yeah, Quacksilver will have no problem with any boss in the game now. Abyssriek is so strong.
Oh god, that's a pause right there.
that should definitely go like top 10 images taken for disaster. Right there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Quacksilver making their way over to Black Egg.
But, oh, Pyros is going back to Crystal Peaks. He really wants to spinch, I guess. And yeah,
Pyrus still does not have claws, so this spike quarter is still going to be tricky for them. Not
with
quite as
Dash,
tricky since they're
not bad.
And I believe that's the first save location, so...
Yeah, it's much easier with Dash. He has no trouble with it now. But yeah, we're seeing Quacksilver doing Black Egg check here. Very infamous claw location sometimes. But we haven't seen Monomon, so technically this is not in logic, since dupes actually don't like count as logic. Another wings!
Double wings.
Unfortunately, the wrong vertical movement now.
Yeah, and unfortunately that doesn't give you a third jump. Maybe we should suggest that.
Close enough, but not the right one. Oh, and Dreamgate for Pyros. That's 2 out of 3 for King's Wall Path of Pain progress. Path of Pain still requires a bit of movement to get through, though. Like, they don't have Claw and Sea Dash yet. But the King's Mold could get, like, he could get with just, like, no movement, honestly. As long as you have Hidden Station access. Love Key.
Yeah, and Champass both being acquired right here. Quacksilver getting Champass and Pyrus getting Love Key. And Pyrus using this Dream Nail to take care of Crystal Guardian 1. In a way that it only really works on current patch.
Alright, let's count. 1, 2.
Learn to count with Conra.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
We did it! Woo!
This is one very long goal with all the scrolling you have to do to buy all the map pins.
You'd think it doesn't take that long because you just need to go to a store and shop a bit, but it actually is surprisingly long.
And yeah, Cornifer's reaction to that is pretty appropriate too.
So Quacksilver is now up to 7 goals.
Yeah, looking really good for Quacksilver here.
Yeah, they're more than halfway done.
Zotan
we
Deepness,
just-
again, very easily reachable by simply just... You don't even need to do like the fancy pogo, you can just go for gardens. Get another check on the way too. Or just take the tram if you're Quacksilver actually. Which, actually, Quacksilver might be doing that. Hold on.
Seems a bit roundabout, but I don't think Quacksilver has been down to basin, so I don't think they have a bench there yet.
I actually think the basin play is very strong for Quacksilver here. Like, at least going down, getting the tram bench. The tram bench there is so strong. And also getting that tram bench, and then you could turn to Deep Nest, get the Zod real quick, get like 2 more checks if you want to.
It also
It's
gives you
actually-
access to the Hive Mask shard. Sort of.
Oh, Vengeful Spirit in the Will. Obtain Shade Soul is on the board, and we've seen one at Essence, so Pyros might be getting that. Quacksilver never checked well.
Quacksilver getting another load of cash. 3,330 geo. I appreciate this number. Very nice number.
It's missing a free.
Yeah, we can't have everything, unfortunately.
Pyros is doing getting some grub pickups here. Only sitting 7 grubs. Although grubs aren't that hard to get if you're only getting like 10. 10 is pretty fast.
It strikes me that with Void Tendril's journal entry, Kingsbrand actually gives access to 1 goal on this board.
On that note, I would like to talk about the grubs that you can actually reach without vertical movement. There are 21 reasonable grubs that you could get in Randomizer and 29 in total. Thank you
Without
for listening.
vertical movement.
Yes. You can actually get a fairly large amount of grubs without vertical movement. Although, typically the number you will see if something is required is 16.
This is
So
the
yeah,
trivia I did
Quacksilver is
not
actually
play.
doing the basin play.
Yeah, I like this. Getting Tram Bench opens up so many options. This little steal here. Oh,
Oh!
getting Shady Cloak. That was definitely a nice detour.
This is access to Alubas. Complete either ending of the Cloth quest line right there.
Yeah, so that gives Pyros access to 2 more goals, I believe. Which might put them back in the game.
I love how chat exploded over my statement. The 21 reasonable grubs are actually the ones in logic. Just as a side note. Alright, we're seeing Quacksilver finding Elegant Key here. Where is Quacksilver actually going?
I'd imagine Quacksilver is just doing a few checks here. While they're down in the basin, I mean.
I mean,
remember.
the lift of this bench is not quick checks, but I respect it. Hopefully they just get the bench and get out.
Quick checks within quotation marks.
Yeah. What are those Pyros doing?
More importantly, is Pyros having
Cloth.
Sharp Shadow equipped?
I
It
respect
sort
it.
of looks like it. But maybe I'm just
Yeah, nail
not
upgrades
seeing
are
it.
rough here.
Yeah, this is the reason you don't really want to upgrade your nail, actually, because it makes these pogos really difficult.
Yeah, again, another advantage of Quacksilver's Tram bench here. You don't have to like do this climb.
But Paris manages it.
Yeah, and it looks like Pyros might be going for the double goal here of killing on another Luba for that goal and getting one of the cloth questline endings.
Yeah, sort of interesting to
Hopefully
see
by
that.
Trader Lord, technically.
Yeah, sort of interesting to see that both runners are in roughly the same location now.
Yeah, although Quacksilver doesn't have a Shade Cloak. That's a Pyro's advantage right now.
Yeah, I don't know what Quacksilver is like. I guess Quacksilver might be prepping for this goal later,
Yeah,
but
Quacksilver is
I don't.
setting up for this.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that play though, because like they have the bench in Tram, so they could go here relatively quickly, and
It has
wasting the
been
time now seems.
57 minutes with vertical fairly early on, and two Isma steers, and Rescue
Ooh, and
Zote
Quacksilver.
Deepness is still on the board.
Oof, Quacksilver is barely surviving that battle. Oh,
Oh,
and
another
Pyrus.
Unput Charm.
Oh,
Did
that's
you
interesting
remember?
because yeah, it seems
Storms.
like it.
Yeah,
Quacksilver is
he
looking
remembers.
around for
Nice.
the. Oh, and oh, this is exciting. Pyrus is also going for it.
Oh, the close lockout! Let's go. Quacksilver actually gets it though. As Spyro's just interacted
So
with it too.
close. That's rough.
That's
But
a big
that,
lockout.
yeah, that has to feel so bad for Pyros to be just so close to getting that and then just not getting it.
Yeah, that was a huge snipe. We were like talking about Quacksilver's play being a bit questionable, but he got so much out of that. Oh, we're seeing deepness. There we go. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, Quacksilver doing the. Ooh, Pyros not buying that notch? Really?
Oh,
Oh,
Pyros
never
might be
mind.
remembering that this is a goal, and he in fact actually has 6 notches, so...
Yeah, I just saw Pyros deselecting that, and I was like, really? But yeah, it seems like they just had a small slip of the mind there.
Yeah, it looks like it's 8-6 for Quacksilver now. Pyros does however, have the Shade Cloak advantage, which would put him at 8 once he gets those 2 goals.
Yeah, and Pyros
So
fighting Arlo here.
this is still a very close race. It might actually go to tiebreaker, you never know.
We can always hope.
I mean, if
Yeah,
Pyros gets those 2 goals here, then they're tied again.
yeah, Pyros not having a Bishrik here actually really hurts their ability to kill Marmu quickly.
Pyros having a nail upgrade really hurts his ability to kill Marmo here, honestly.
That too, actually, because the dream bosses do level up with nail level, so having that one extra nail hurts that.
Yeah, a good strategy for killing Dream Warriors fast is to just not upgrade your nail and use spells which deal a lot more damage than Nail Zero early on. Since they scale with your nail, you can very quickly beat them up with spells before you get nail upgrades.
Yeah, even the first level nail upgrade significantly increases their HP, so you want to avoid that if you can. Pyro's going through a Loodle room here. That is uncomfortable. Loodles are really scary.
They're not pleasant enemies. And did a lot of turning speedruns back in the day. Yeah, we're gonna be seeing Zote from Quacksilver here. I assume Pyros is going to get 2 goals in Queen's Gardens. And then Pyros has the advantage of having 1 fireball and knows where the other one is, which I thought was at low essence. I'm actually surprised Pyros isn't going to grab that before doing Trader Lord.
Yeah, I seem to recall it was
It's dark.
like
So.
I think it was 168 essence to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a goal. Like, why would you put it off? Maybe just forgetting about it?
Yeah, I'd imagine maybe they were either forgotten that the spell was there or just forgetting that Shade Soul is a goal at all.
Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna be seeing Trader Lord here.
Yeah. Ooh, Pyros definitely has Sharp Shadow equipped.
Yeah,
Overshooting that
that
platform.
room is a bit harder with Sharp Shadow on, since the platforms are positioned in a convenient way for your normal dash distance, but Sharp Shadow extends that a little bit.
Yeah, it's useful for some very particular sections of the game if you want to do them really fast, but otherwise it can actually be a liability. It looks cool though, so I approve of
Yeah,
using Sharp Shadow.
it does also damage enemies. Alright, Cloth is here. Cloth
Quacksilver getting
honestly
killed.
makes the Trader Lord fight last way longer.
Does it really?
It just feels like it. There's like extra enemy. Oh!
I didn't
That's
focus on
bad.
what was found there.
Anyway, Quacksilver saving Zode and finding Shade Cloak.
Oh,
I
so
hope
that
he
was
doesn't
really
get
very
baited
strong
into
attack,
this.
wasn't it?
Pyros might
Yeah.
finish this before Quacksilver gets baited into it.
Yeah, because if Quacksilver goes in here instead of to Hive, they're gonna lose a lot of time.
Yeah, I hope Quacksilver just continues doing checks. Honestly, we still need to find Mantis Claw. Not much else on this board can be done without Mantis Claw. And yeah, Pyro's
Oh, and
getting the
Pirates,
ending here.
1 HP against Trickler here.
It looks like Trader Lord's almost dead, so I assume hopefully he'll be fine.
This is tense, yeah. Does Cloth actually deal damage to
Oh,
Traitor Lord?
looks like that's it.
Ah,
Yeah.
Goodbye, Cloth.
Questionable use of spells from Pyros, but you know, it got the job done.
Yeah.
Oh, and looks
And
like
with
in the meanwhile, Quacksilver found Crystal Heart. Okay,
oh
that's
wow,
big. I assume Shopkeeper's key was in Deep Nest.
and so two Alubas have been killed. And let's see what the route here has for us.
But yeah, Quacksilver can get the Peaks Elevator now. You don't need Mantis Claw for that. You only need, if you're doing it from this side, you actually only need Wings and Crystal Heart. That's enough to get it. Since you can land on
Oh
the...
wow,
Oh,
Twister.
a random check for Pyros.
just get a free 3 goals from Traitor Lord. Don't mind if I do.
Quacksilver is stopping the Sea Dash a bit late there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can actually land on the edge of that elevator.
So both runners currently have 9 goals. So they're tied, sort of.
It looks like Quacksilver is not informed. Oh, Pyros finds Mantis
Wow.
Claw.
Yeah, finding Claw now is really huge. That gives access to pretty much every single goal on the board,
Is
I
that the
think.
city simple key? They've had access to that forever. That's so bad. I don't know if Quacksilver is going back there.
Yeah, I guess they must have just forgot to check it when they were going through there.
Either way, that's 2 Dreamers checks reachable now. Hive Max Shard much easier to do now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either runner had dash the first time they went through there, so they would have had to like
Yeah.
hold up to it, and I guess they just didn't want to spend the time.
No, Quacksilver's
Really
getting
biting
the
them.
journal, so I guess he's thinking of doing the Void Tendrils journal, isn't he? Yeah, Claw is like very good, but it's not over yet, I think. They're missing 1 Dream Nail on Pyro's end at least. Quacksilver hasn't found the one in Peaks yet. I think we're getting a White Palace check from Pyros. It's actually very sad though, because Quacksilver has the Peaks Elevator, but he just doesn't know.
I didn't manage to catch what was it, White Palace, unfortunately.
Nail Master's Glory.
Ah, thank you.
Quack doesn't know you can get the elevator without Claw.
Dream Shield. If that had been a Dream Nail, I would have bought that instantly. So it seems like neither runner is going for the Hive Mask Shard. Interesting enough. I mean, I guess Pyros doesn't actually have access to it yet since they don't have the Tram Pass, but Quacksilver should have
Pyros
access.
100% forgot that Shade Soul is on the board, by the way, or that it's at Essence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
which might
Quacksilver
hurt.
doesn't even have a Vengeful Spirit yet, so they can't get that.
Where is Quacksilver going? Right city. Close enough, but not close enough.
Is Pyros going up to Watcher Knights?
Yep, it's 2 Dreamers checks, and Watcher Knights have 3 checks, so I like this
Oh,
actually.
yeah, that's true, I suppose.
I don't think Pyros has the Distant Village tag, does he? So he would have to either go for Deep Nest or the Skillumu.
Yeah, and Pyros does not have a Bishriek, so killing Umu would take a long time.
Oh! Quacksilver? Is this Grubs? This might be Grubs. Please check well. Please check well. You're right here. Oh, damn it.
But Quacksilver doesn't have Claw either, so they'd have to pogo up to it.
Kirk's getting Grubs to get King's Brand, to get the Void Thunder General entry, I'm assuming. He only needs 1 more for that. And Pyros is just going to kill Watcher Knights. Zidar makes like quick work of them, so I don't think he's gonna struggle, although we'll see, I guess.
The combination of the damage and the iframes just makes such quick work of Watcher Knights. And getting the Chandelier to get one of the roly-polies out of the way first.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like getting that egg.
Yeah, Quacksilver getting that one rancid egg, I can respect that.
Shake Cloak is enough to get the journal entry with wings, yeah. Without Shade Cloak, you would have to do a Shade Skip to get up there.
How does Shade Cloak significantly change that?
Since you can go through where the Arcane Egg is, and then go around from the right
Oh,
side.
right. Yeah,
If
I
you
see.
do it,
Right.
you have to do a Shade Skip to get over that ledge.
Yeah, I completely forgot that that was an option.
It's also check, so I like that actually. Although, again, I have no idea when Quacksilver is fighting Claw.
It's actually 2 checks, isn't it? You can check the Arcane Egg that's there, and also Shade Cloak itself.
Yeah. It's very nice to get along with the go, and it looks like Quacksilver is choosing to also check Lifeblood Core here.
Yeah, the randomizer made it so that one only requires 1 Lifeblood Mask, right? So they should be able to get it with just the 1 charm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Paris has defeated the Watcher Knight. And let's see what all these checks are.
Yeah, I think we might see an Abyss full clear from Quacksilver.
God,
Full
Tuner.
clear except for except for Birthplace, since Quacksilver only has 1 fragment. And you need at least 2.
Yeah. Now that Paris is God Tuner, though, they can access God Home. I actually don't know if that is required to access God Home. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not. You just need to be able to dream now. Yeah, I guess we might see Pyro's doing Umu here. I could see Claw here.
Yeah. Quacksilver does have
You don't actually need a
Dash?
simple key in Randomizer for that, by the way.
for what
That's
now?
only to get the check. Forgot. Got home. The simple key is only to get the check. If you want to enter it, you don't need it. Oh, there's Shaman still.
Oh, yeah, finding Shaman Stone there, that's nice. I missed if Quacksilver got the checks or not. Did they just fall out of bounds instead? Well, no matter. Quacksilver going off to checking Abyss Shriek. Doing a full clear of the Abyss here.
Oh, did Quacksilver skip? Oh no.
Didn't pick up the Rancid Egg. And purple not finding anything useful in green path, unfortunately.
That's really bad for Quacksilver. Yeah, skipping Lifeblood Core apparently. That's... I'm not sure why you would want to do that.
Yeah, who knows? It could have been something useful, but if it's
The room
not,
is
at
like
least.
sorta difficult, but with Monarch Wings it's really not that bad. And with Monarch Wings and Dash, obviously.
So Quacksilver just making their way up the tower here, dodging all the siblings. These guys deal 2 damage if they touch you, so you really don't want to be hit by them. Where is Pyros going? Is Pyros trying to climb up to Crystal Peaks?
Can't do that one, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think that one is possible to do, actually.
It's a good attempt. I respect it. Technically, you could get like some sort of walking storage there, but that's not allowed, obviously.
Quacksilver realizing they can't double jump up to there.
Yeah, Quacksilver's getting those 2 checks, then we'll get the journal entry, and then it's back to searching for Claw.
Yeah, and Pyro's getting their own King's Brand to go down into the abyss. But I'd imagine
Bit
once
too late.
Quacksilver marks his goal, they're not gonna bob. No, I guess they are going to bob. They're still going into the abyss.
I'm curious. Maybe we might see Lifeblood Core from Pyros, which we didn't see from Quacksilver.
Yeah, I don't know if we saw the Arcane Egg from Quacksilver either.
Yeah, Pyros. I'm pretty sure Pyros actually checked Essence, but just doesn't remember Sheet Souls there. Kind of a shame.
Yeah, it would be a free goal, but it's hard to always remember everything that is put in the game as well. Like there are so many small things you have to keep in mind.
I wonder what the reasoning behind Pyros not getting 2 Dreamers checks right now is, by the way, because you could just go to Umu.
I
It's
guess
not
maybe.
that slow.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I can think of is they don't feel like they have the damage for it.
Yeah, I guess.
That's like the only thing I can think of. Alright, let's see this lifeblood core here.
Huh. Very
Yeah,
fast charm.
yeah, that charm will allow Pyros to go very fast.
Really unfortunate that Quack missed that. Yeah, looks like Pyros is just gonna finish Abyss. Quack is very much not informed and lost. Please go to storerooms. Wanna? Come on, move your mouse a bit to the left. No. No. Quacksilver, no.
I'm trying to backseat here.
Oh, Sharp Shadow shit. No? Hive?
Yeah, I
Okay,
guess.
I respect that. I mean, it's a goal. If you feel like you can get it, go for it.
Yeah, and Quacksilver does have 10 goals right now, so bringing it
Uh,
closer to the required
what is
13.
this? What? Okay. Quack's a little bit lost.
I wonder if we might actually see this come down to White Palace, because there are 2 goals in White Palace, both Killer King's Mold and Complete Path of Pain, right?
Yeah, Pyros doesn't have C dash yet, which Quack has, so that's Quack's like slight advantage. Pyros has a Claw and 2 Dream Nails, whereas Quack only has 1 Dream Nail and still hasn't found Claw.
But I don't
So
think White Palace is doable without Claw, so
yeah, it's not.
yeah, Quacksilver would have to find Claw or be able to finish the race out before it came down to Path of Pain if he's gonna end that. Pyro's just defeating Gorb. Not entirely sure what they're defeating Gorb for.
King's Mold is reachable with, well, White Palace access, which could be just hidden station, and basically no items past that. It's just
Yeah,
one walk. Path of
yeah,
Pain, on the other hand, needs a lot more movement.
yeah. There's that one King's Mold just outside White Palace, but
Oh, Pyro! Oh, Pyro never killed Zero. Now he's got Gorb and will probably get... Oh right, Pyro has nail upgrade, so this poke was significantly more annoying. But he gets it no problem.
no leeway. Only one shot there. Makes it in nonetheless. There are 2 checks in here, I believe.
Hive Bud. Well,
That
that
will
might
help.
make Pyro want to go to Hive, but a bit too
Yeah.
late for that. Actually, I'm speaking too soon. Like, the Hive is very bad without Mantis Claw.
Yeah, it requires a lot of either luck that the big bees don't break the platforms or pogoing.
Yeah, it looks like Quack's doing pretty okay so far. I might regret saying that, but
Yeah, but they
okay.
navigate it fine. Alright. It's only manipulating the final big bee here that is the problem now.
Quack can't leave a Dream Gate when Quack doesn't have a Dream Gate, you silly. I believe in Quacksilver.
Yeah, the big bees can be uncooperative at times and also this
Oh
water.
god, this is a very annoying place to be in.
Yikes. This is not great.
Oh, yes, use the D-Dark iframes. Oh my god, this Big B's not cooperating. Oh god.
I think there are bigger problems than the big bee right now.
Oh god, oh, okay. Quack's like going
Quack
for it.
all in. I respect this.
Oh god. Oh my god, please. Oh,
Ah,
you hate to
that
see
is
that.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
I respected the commitment though. Being at 1 HP and deciding to go for it still, I can dig that.
That bee doesn't want to cooperate sometimes. And looks like Quack might be retrying here. I respect it, honestly. Should have left it be. Should have just gone to Crystal Peaks, grabbed Dream Gate, and then done this, honestly.
Yeah, really, that was the optimal play. I don't know why they didn't think of that. Meanwhile, Pyrus is going through the dark room to Joni's blessing.
Oh
That's
wow.
interesting.
Pyros is feeling adventurous here.
Yeah, Pyrus has gone through 2 dark rooms, I believe. This
I'm
raid.
convinced that Pyros has 100% forgotten about Shade Soul at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Either way, it's 10-9 for Quacksilver right now, so talking about the score since we don't have that on stream. So if Pyros would remember Shade Soul, it would be 10-10 right now, and Quacksilver is heading to this Mask Shard.
I just
Pyros
realized
has
that.
the advantage of 2 Dreamers checks, so it's theoretically speaking 11-11, and then Quacksilver would have the advantage of the Pix Elevator if he remembers he can get that. So this is actually probably a tiebreaker at this point.
Yeah, in
Tiebreaker
which case
situation.
Pyrus has the advantage because Pyrus has Claw.
Yeah.
But anyways, one thing I realized is that since Pyrus doesn't have C dash, that dark room to Joni's blessing becomes way more awkward, and Pyrus backed out, which might have been a wise decision, honestly, because that dark room is actually kind of hard.
Yeah, with Crystal Heart, that one's like kind of okay. You have like a few setups for it, but without Crystal Heart, it's a bit awkward.
Alright, is it round 2 with the big B here? Let's go, Quacksilver.
Okay, Quacksilver choosing to Abyss Shrike the small bees now to get them out of
Yeah.
the way.
That's probably a good decision, honestly.
I would like to see a heal here, please. Okay, nice. 5 HP and a dream.
Quacksilver.
Let's go, Quacksilver. Get that
Alright.
big bee.
Just gotta angle it perfectly.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go, Quacksilver.
Yeah, Quacksilver's got this. Pyrus is on his way down to
Oh.
Broken Vessel again. Big B
I
just
will big
sort of
B.
spinning down.
Oh my god. He's getting trolled so much. Oh, there we go. Broke
Big
the
B,
wall,
not completing.
and it's a journey.
But it is also a goal.
Yep, that's another goal for Quacksilver.
Yeah, Pyrus is just going through to a broken vessel now. I'm not sure about this.
The
It's a
likelihood
single-
of this going to tiebreakers is huge right now. Unless Quacksilver like does the mod log right now, finds Claw, gets two Dreamer's checks, and then gets Shade Soul from Essence. Or
Pyrus,
opens the elevator actually. Oh,
Pyrus is struggling with
Commentator's
getting past
blessing?
these.
hold on,
artillery
hold on.
attacks.
I may have blessed Quacksilver this time around.
Oh, you may be right. Quacksilver could be going to Claw. Is this the mod log play?
Let's go, Quacksilver! We gave the blessing! Commentator's blessing, lads. Alright.
Quacklog?
Quacklog! Let's go. And that's Mantis Claw. There we go.
Easy. Quacklog is back in the race.
Pyros, please get Shade Soul. Make this a good one. Come on, buddy.
Do the Path of Pain finish. Come on, guys. That would actually be pretty funny.
At this rate, Pyros is gonna feel really bad for putting off Dreamer's checks, by the way. Quacksilver is gonna go for those, I imagine.
Yeah, and with Claw, this elevator is gonna be easily acquired here. No, but Quacksilver.
Actually looking. Do you think Quacksilver knows Pyros' Claw?
I don't know. Is there any goal that reveals that Pyrus has Claw? I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. So going for a Dreamer Checks is super reasonable for Quacksilver here.
And with that, Quacksilver has opened the Crystal Peaks elevator, putting them at.
And yeah, Quacksilver's going for
goals.
Watcher Knights. Pyros is gonna hate this, honestly.
Yeah, Quacksilver has the has a set goal right now. They just need one more, and they finish the race.
Bro, just kill Umu! Don't tell me you're doing Lost Skin now. You're getting so much essence, oh my god.
You're getting the essence, but not getting Shade Soul.
Yeah, this is weird. Oh, Quacksilver isn't doing the lever skip.
Oh,
Doing
Pyrus
shield
is.
hustlers.
Pyrus wanted to put a Dream Gate in that arena, but wasn't allowed to. I guess you can't place a Dream Gate in that arena.
You can't place Dream Gates in boss arenas now. Oh,
Yeah, makes sense. Placing the Dream Gate and teleporting out. Maybe they're going for the.
where is Pyros going?
I'm hoping that Pyrus is going for a Dreamer right here.
I'm guessing Pyros is doing checks.
I don't know. They're going up to Fog Canyon. They could be going to Umo. I don't think they're broken up
you're-
at all, though.
Going from this side? I mean, I guess.
I mean, the other option is going through Dirtmouth, or maybe they're going to. I don't know what Pyrus is doing. We'll have to see.
I'm assuming this is Umu.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
think too.
he
but-
has faster ways to get there, but I'm assuming this is Umu.
Yeah, we could see there. Like Pyrus was going to the right there, but then saw that the door was or the wall was closed.
No, Pyros can get to Umu this way since he has a Shade Cloak. But this is just a weird way to go about it.
Yeah, I think it would have been faster to go down from Dirtmouth.
This is actually a close race, yeah. Quacksilver has Distant Village.
Nice little poker across the room here, Pyrus. I like that.
This is super close. Because
is gonna be
Quacksilver has a Distant Village.
Oof, Pyros, don't die on the way.
Pyros needs to hurry up here.
Yeah, but Pyrus also needs to not die.
Like, Pyros put this off for so long. He has to hurry now, like, a lot.
I think Pyrus is realizing that too, though. I don't know, like, I think the Dirtmouth / Crystal Peaks elevator.
Yeah,
it's not
might have alerted him a
strictly
bit.
But I
Yeah.
think it alerted Pyrus that, hey, Quacksilver has Claw now, or at least something that allows that kind of movement, so they needed to hurry up to here. If
Yeah.
Pyrus manages the Umu fight well, Pyrus should still have his goal, but it's definitely a tight race right now.
Man, imagine if Pyros actually got Shade Soul.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, Pyro's getting thorns. I don't know about this.
Pyros has raids and vanilla VS, so he can't one cycle Umu. He doesn't have Abyss Shriek nor Shade Soul. Both are possible
Oh yeah,
for
that's true. Pyros doesn't have
cycling.
the damage output here. He does have a Shaman Stone, so that will help somewhat. Quacksilver, meanwhile, is about to get their first Dreamer check.
This is very close, yeah. He could maybe get a 2-cycle here. I could see that, but again, kind of hard.
Quacksilver doesn't have Shaman Stone, so I'm not sure if Quacksilver can one-cycle Umu either.
Quacksilver can just go to Hera.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, and that doesn't require a boss fight.
Nope, and he can just skip into there, get it right away, and looks like he's doing that.
Ooh, and Umu is pushed
This
into
might
the
be
wall.
Quacksilver's goal, I think.
Yeah, especially since Umu got pushed into the wall like that. The wall ate Pyrus' fireballs.
Yeah, this is
I'm not
very
sure
little
Pyrus.
damage from Pyros.
Yeah, I don't know if Pyrus has the damage output to finish this off. Yeah, look at that. Not having Shade Soul is really hurting Pyrus here. And Pyrus
Yeah.
has had access to that goal for so long.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't technically over. Oh, never mind, it is over. I can't
No, I
count.
think Pyrus just put off both the Dreamer goal
No,
and
it's
the Shade Soul
it's
goal.
over, it's over. I can't count. Quacksilver will get this right here. That's GG.
Yeah, and that's it. Quacksilver getting the 13th goal, finishing the race. As Pyrus is struggling to get to the
Yeah.
final Dreamer check.
Putting that off for so long really hurt him.
Yeah.
Especially because he had access to, like, Shade Soul for ages, so he could have killed him really fast. But yeah, those were some good snipes from both of them.
Yeah. Started out really strong in Pyrus' favor, but Quacksilver getting that early dash really evened the game up.
Yeah.
Alright, I don't know if there's much more to say here.
Just mark him as done, I guess. We can have an interview, I guess.
Suppose they could come over. I see. Pyrus thought that the Shade Soul was way higher than it was.
Are they in here? Hold on. Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
Good knowledge, Randomizer.
Oh, actually, I don't know if I should have marked Pyrus' finish or not. Oh well.
Yeah, you can mark both as done. I believe the first one is the winner here. So
Yeah, 168 essence for the Vengeful Spirit. That's rough.
all right, and we have Pyros in here. Hello, Pyros.
Hello.
So, what is your opinion on the Shade Soul goal by any chance?
I am annoyed because I've just noticed that what I was prepping for was to get long nail all along.
Oh, that's yeah,
Because I forgot I got Mark of Pride earlier.
that's rough.
And I
That's
forgot
the-
about the Essence goal, so I thought that Vengeful Spirit was at 700, so I was prepping for that, thinking that that was the case.
So what was your reasoning behind putting off Two Dreamer checks for that long? Were you just hoping to find distant village stacks somewhere?
Yeah. Umu is so long that I was always expecting him to do, because I knew he had Distant Village Stag,
Yeah.
and I also knew that he had to have gone to King Station or somewhere around, or City of Tears, because he's used 2 simple keys. And it's way more likely that he found 2 simple keys and used one on going down into the waterways, and the other one then somewhere else. Then he found 3 keys and used 2 of them in the locations that aren't in the City of Tears.
Yeah, I think Quacksilver only found 2 keys.
I only ever
From
found
what I
2.
I haven't found the other one. I have Love Key and I didn't check Collector. Because who would check Collector? Also, I'm annoyed that I didn't check that relic earlier on.
Yeah. If you got the Two Dreamer checks goal right there, I think that would have settled the race for tiebreaker situation.
Yeah. I was so
Especially
close
'cause
to
I only
getting it.
had 1 dream nail at that point, so yeah, you would have
I had
definitely
2.
gotten Things Mold and Shade Soul thereafter before me.
Oh yeah, Quacksilver, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually get that elevator without Mantis Claw. The
I am
fixed
quite
elevator.
annoyed at another thing. The obtain 2 Lifeblood Charms goal.
That was about
Oh, yeah.
5-second snipe or so.
I found the Lifeblood core and straight away went there. But
You
as
guys
soon as I
did
hovered
the
over the buy
exact
button,
Same play.
oh god.
You were in the same
So
room,
glad I
both
remembered
talking
it.
to Cloth, both doing the check, and then both warping to storerooms immediately after.
Jeez.
So that was a hype moment.
Did he also go to to the Queen's Gardens to get those 2 goals done?
Never set foot in QG.
Wait,
No,
seriously?
Quacksilver found Shade Cloak in Deep Nest, I believe, and by the time that was
I found Shade Cloak
something they
somewhere
could
else,
go
I don't
for.
remember where.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
yeah.
after finding Shade Cloak, I went there straight away. Because those
Yeah,
were
you
2
got-
easy goals I couldn't just pass up.
You
Stalled
got
too
those
long
2
on going
goals.
to Green Path for the first Aluba, so I wasn't
I did a
thinking
whole
about
check of Green Path other than
Alubas.
Shio.
seeing those random goals right at the beginning all drop in your favor was real intimidating.
Yeah, me getting I got the Ismus tier, I obtained Hera, those were just... I had no idea how lucky I was there.
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
very
fuck
close
Canyon
race.
Relic.
Dupe Wings being at Black Egg. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Damn, I should have done that. I should have done that Dreamer whilst I was at Shade Cloak, but I got it and I went to Queen's Garden straight away, and I forgot about Umu at that time. I wonder where could the other Dream Nail be? There's 2 more Dream Nails, and
I'm being told that a second dream nail was found in Crystal Peaks, apparently.
yeah, that
No,
was
that's
where
the
I
one.
found.
That's the one Pyrophone.
I found 2. I found one at Sly, and the other one was at Crystal Peaks because I
Yeah,
believe
both
I
of you
did
had
check
the
Crystal
ones on
Peaks.
Sly.
Yeah.
I literally
Oh.
did. I would have gotten that Dream Nail earlier if I didn't mess up the only Monarch Wings Spike Tunnel so much.
Yeah, I was kind of questioning that play, honestly. Like, I assume you might have wanted the bench for doing the elevator later on, but since you already have Monarch Wings, it's faster to do the elevator from the crossroads side. Like, it needs Crystal Heart and Wings or Claw to do it. If you have Wings
I
already,
couldn't
you
find
don't
Crystal
need to
Heart.
think. Yeah, but you need Crystal Heart regardless of which side you're doing it from.
I know.
So,
You can open the elevator without Claw. Did I just
Yeah.
screw that up?
Yeah, you have to stop the sea dash a bit earlier. Then you can land on the edge of the elevator, without having to grab like at all.
Apparently, according to the spoiler log, there was a third dream nailed by the Golem Mask Shard.
By which mask shard?
Nice.
The Golem Mask
Crossroads
Shard, the one that pirates that you were trying to get into early in the race, but you failed to manage to avoid.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow. that wasn't gonna be found for a while.
That wasn't. If I found it early, oh god.
What was the
That would
fourth
have opened up
glowing
essence
womb?
for me straight away. I would have been able to get that. I'm
The Golem Mask
questioning
Shard.
what I would have done then.
Hidden in plain sight, as you could say.
Oh god. You know what? Give me a second. I'm doing it. I'm getting it, then I'm going to the palace. I'm going to do Path of Pain. We need to end on a high note.
Expect it.
Also, where the hell am I? I want.
Going with the Path of Pain, huh?
Also, Vanilla Green Path Stag was a mood. I was expecting something to be at Green Path, but no. Green Path was just a ton of
Honestly,
empty
while
checks.
I'm really excited to see Fyros demonstrating how to do Path of Pain without having Crystal
Yeah.
Heart, I believe we should probably end on this note.
Sounds good.
We
So-
can.
Yeah, I think so too.
I got the Awoken Dream now, that's all I needed.
GG's
Yeah,
again.
very good race from both runners. Very nice win from Quacksilver, some good lockouts in there. There's going to be another race about 6 hours from now on the SpeedGaming free channel. It's going to be Jason versus Tash. So, if you want to see more lockout action, stay tuned for that one. Yeah, this was a good race. GG
Yeah.
again to both runners.
Yeah, thanks for the race, guys.
Thanks for the comms. Thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting us.
And with that, we'll say goodnight, probably.
Have you marked it?
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Bye.